Batman: Return of the Joker is another Batman game on the NES and keeps up the tradition of 8-bit Batman games being really rather enjoyable. This one, unlike the other two I've whittled on about, is not based on a movie and is a standalone game more based around the comics this time. The story of the game, believe it or not, is that the Joker has escaped from Arkham for the 382nd time and is causing all sorts of mischief. So it's up to the frowny one to bring the Joker back to justice. Not exactly original, but then again just about every superhero game, film or comic has the same storyline, so let's just deal with it, shall we? Something that is noticeably different about this game is that Batman doesn't get to punch anyone in the face, not even once. For some reason, Batman has decided to attach a Batarang launcher onto his arm, and as a result, this game is more of a shooter in the style of Contra and games like that, and is not the beat-em-up that you would really expect from a Batman game. At first this was really strange, but once you get used to it, it's actually a pretty fun game, and is a decent shooter. There's various pickups you can also get which change your ammo type, and you have the standard Batarang, which you can also pick up a charge shot, a spread, homing Batarang, and a wavy thing. Each of these have their own different strengths and weaknesses, and they also each have a secondary charge shot that can be used by holding down the attack button. Along the way, you can also pick up items that charge your B meter. Once this has been filled, Batman becomes Super Saiyan Batman and gets a proton pack, firing all sorts of death at the bad guys. It's awesome. Speaking of bad guys, they make a lot more sense here than they did in the first Batman game, which by the way was made by Sunsoft, who also made this game, making it sort of a sequel. The enemies are all soldiers or cronies with some strange robot things thrown in for good measure, but these are usually in the flying stages. Oh yeah, there's flying stages, where Batman has a jetpack. I think they sort of lost track of the source material a bit there. Strange. The graphics in the game are really good. They were touted as the closest thing to 16-bit on the system, and you can really see that. The characters are all large on screen and have a lot of detail. Even the backgrounds generally have a lot going on, and there's little to no flicker. The levels themselves are a strange bag and seem to be completely random. There isn't a real structure to them, and you go from a city to a snowy mountain to a sewer just like that. It's a bit odd, but really you don't notice too much. One thing that is a bit of a pain in the ass is that some levels, most notably the snowy one, there are some enemies that fire at you as soon as they come on screen and have projectiles that are really hard to avoid, even when you know they're coming, let alone when you don't. So there's times when it's almost impossible to not get hit. And as this one of those get knocked backwards when you hit games, it means that there are times when there are cheap deaths from falling down chasms. Luckily though, there is a password system and unlimited continues, meaning you'll probably beat this game in an hour or two, and you'll probably want to come back for more though. The boss fights in the game are also a lot of fun, starting you off with Batman getting struck by lightning, which powers him up, and then you and the boss have a power meter each which depletes. It's a strange change, but not a bad one. Overall, this is another great Batman game, and it's hard to say which one, if you wanted only one Batman game, to go for. You can't really go wrong with any of them. Good job, Batman.